Collaboration is a new currency. The bottom feeders, they compete. They compete.
At the top, we all connect.
What is up? Welcome back. Today, I got a very, very special guest in the house who took his business from out of his kitchen to having 6 stores, from doing 45 meals a week to over 8,000 meals in 1 week. I got my man, Mr. Alex, Mr. Phit Phuel himself. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time. We were just talking about time. Thanks for taking the time to be here, bro. I appreciate you so much. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself, bro. What you do and who you are, bro, and how you're out there changing the world.
I'm just fortunate enough to have the time to be able to do things like this now. You know, before it wasn't like that the case. But yeah, happy to be here. Excited. Like you said, Alex Levario, Phit Phuel, started 9.5 years ago. So we're going on 10 years now.
10 years, bro.
Yeah.
10 years. 10 years. And what kind of business do you have? Do you want to break down like the business and the mission and the goal for the business? Mission statement, what you stand for, what you live by?
I guess usually I tell people like since I kind of coexist with the company, I am the company, right? Like this is why it started. I pretty much took one of my biggest problems in my life that I just, I've always struggled with my weight. So I took the biggest problem that I thought I was pretty much going to deal with my whole life and decided to take it on and do it a lifelong journey to try and solve it. Because that's what it is. That's how you contribute to society, by solving problems, and you try to do your best. And so I'm trying to solve the problem. Like right now it's holiday season, and I put on some pounds and stuff, but I'm glad we exist. I'm glad there's a solution. Like I'm glad I don't have to be constantly worrying about like how am I going to bounce back when I know there's a solution. And it's something that's taken us, it's been a battle to get to the level we're at, but to know that there's a solution and many people feel like that, then we're on the right path.
Congratulations, problem solving. And I think that's like a lot of the times people don't understand that you become a problem solver. And when you become a great problem solver, and I can imagine for yourself, it was a problem for you. You came up with your own solution, and now you're able to go out there and impact millions of people's lives through the power of Phit Phuel, man. Phit Phuel, that is awesome, bro. So let's go back. I know right now we're chatting it up. Let's go back to the beginning. You did this 10 years. You had ups and downs through this. It hasn't been easy. Let's talk about the breakthrough. Like when you were like, literally, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. What was that breakthrough moment? Do you remember that time?
Breakthrough for like good or for
the good? For the good. I want to focus on the good today, bro.
Like when I knew I was onto something. I guess the first time that I could go back that I remember is the first time that we sold over $1,000.
Sold over $1,000.
Like we hit $1,000, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I mean, there's been many, but I just remember that one. I was like, oh shit. Because I was on the way to go cook. And so, yeah, I remember that moment. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. As far as the stores go, like when we first opened inside of a gym in the West Side, that first day, like I wasn't expecting that much. And so I was like, all right. And that's when I got the itch for opening stores. And then now the itch of why we're transitioning into pretty much manufacturing instead of retail is because I saw, like you said, that we have 5 locations, but the biggest store that I have right now and should be considered a store is the website, because online orders have skyrocketed. So this is why now we're going into manufacturing and trying to go that route instead, because that's where it's going. And we put it's been a time coming. I've been working on this for like 2.5 years already, but it's almost there, and we're pretty much, now that I was able to breathe, now that the machine works and it's here, and everything is up to standards of health regulations and all that stuff. But now I'm able to breathe, and it's like, all right, we've entered this new stage.
Let's jump back in the water.
Yeah, and so
Let's jump back in the water.
But that's what I was telling them yesterday at the holiday party. Is like, it's nothing new to me. Like, when I came in this, I was the small fish, right? And all these other ones, like when we first started, they had investments and they had their own kitchen and stuff. We started with $200.
$200?
Yeah, for the first order, and so the whole time I was battling up. I was the smallest one, right? Because then UTEP started getting into it. They had their so like.
Everybody, I remember everybody,
bro, and we were battling up the whole time. We were playing with whatever resources we had, and so then, come 2020, since 2018 we've been the best, but 2020, that's when the awards started coming out again, when I took over 100%, and ever since I took over 100%, we've won best meal prep every year, right? And So I've been at the top for a while. So now entering this new stage, I'm like, oh shit! Like, it's back to me battling up. But I've done it before, and so now I know what not to do, because I know what I could do to the small fish here that I wouldn't want them to do to me. So I just gotta work it like that. So being at both stages is a lot of experience, and that's what I'm taking with me to this next stage and level.
To the next level, bro. So you think about, let's talk about this real quick. Is 10 years. You saw all these people come in. You saw all these people go out. You're claiming to be the best because you are the best. How many people that were then still exist?
Yeah. I've seen them come and go, and now I could see the ones that enter. I could just browse it and be like 8 months, or all right, they probably have a shot, but it's rare when that shit happens, right? And but it's just based on experience, man. Like, everybody's always tried to take their shots however they want to come at me, but it's just, I've always stayed in my lane. I've always stayed focused of what the task at hand is, right? And I was talking about that yesterday. Just do the right thing, just do the right thing, and what you say, do it. Like, say what you mean what you say. As long as you stick to that, like, it's all good. And you don't have to just do it here at work. Like, take it on your life and watch.
And how can that quote right there affect somebody's life, bro?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's so many things and I tell that to my employees, you could learn a lot being here in the kitchen. Just do your best when you're here, and you're going to learn. Because I tell them, even when I was working other jobs, like, I took it serious, and I tried to do my best, right? As long as you do that, like, somebody's gonna catch an eye, or something's gonna happen, because you're continuously looking, you're continuously doing your best, which means what? You're always prepared.
Always prepared
for opportunity. If you're not prepared for opportunity, you're not gonna do shit. So, like, it's the people that actually do it right, that actually have good intent, that catch opportunities. Now I believe that I just got to go and get, I'm going to have myself a day today. I let the day come to me. I just, I'm not opposed to, having a great day. So I let the day come to me, and it's because I stay prepared.
One, you stay prepared. And I think, two, think about the intent. When you wake up feeling amazing, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's my favorite word, amazing, bro. Every day I wake up, I'm like, let's grow.
Yeah.
Let's grow.
Yeah.
And think about that intention going back to the perspective. Alex, you're still here. Alex, you're like, how does intention to you, because that's what it sounds like we're talking about, intention, like affect and help you in your business and in your personal life?
I mean, and this is like a lot of arguments me and my girl have, right? First we argue about something, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, we both had good intent. We just did it the wrong way, right? Like the way she wants me to do certain things is not the way I do them, but it was coming from a good intent. And as long as that's always the case, like, all right, like let's just tweak it, right? But like the intent is there.
And then going back to the businesses, other people that join the game,
Yeah.
think about it. You're able to see that bullshit from a mile away. You're able to say that intention, they don't have the heart. They don't have the intent is wrong. And I think that's what people mess up in getting into business. They want to get in for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
I want to go in, I want to make a lot of money. I'm going to do this. If you're coming in and agree or disagree, or let me know what your thoughts on, if you're coming into building a business just for money, you're going to fail.
Yeah, man. Because, I mean, right now we set the standard of what it is that the retail part of it is as far as the meal prep. And so they're like, oh, I want that. I'm like, do you really though? Like, are you sure? Because like, I don't even want stores right now. You know, but do you really? Like, so if that's what you're going into for that, like, you're in it for the wrong thing, because what I value is what I felt along the way, right? The feelings I've gotten, the certain moments I've gotten, like, whoa, nobody could take that away from you. And so, like, okay, so you want stores, have them. I'm already 5 years ahead of you. So whatever it is, I know what my mission is. I know what my intent is. And so if that's what you're seeking, that's what I tell my wife. I'm like, when you're able to set the bar, that means nobody could ever get on top of you, because you're if they're only going the way you're going, well, you set the path. You know, they're never in the unknown like us. Like, we've been in the unknown all the breaking barriers, bro, breaking barriers. And so when you're a pioneer like that, well, I mean, people are gonna, you know, steal your style and all that, and so it happens. But like, you're never gonna be on the borderline. You're not gonna be living on the edge. You're not gonna be solving new problems, and that's what I want to do. I want to keep solving new problems. And
while everybody's focused on trying to play catch up, you're already here breaking new levels. You're already here building more relationships. You're over here creating more opportunity while they're still stuck trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to play catch up the more that they're focused on you than focusing on themselves. And that's what's going to separate you always, because now you're jumping into the manufacture game.
Bro.
Let's talk about that. 2.5 years ago, you said you got this vision, this change.
Yeah.
What was that like, and why did you go? Why was this even a thought?
I mean, I've known about this type of machine for a while, but there's not. The first time I ever went to the food show in Chicago, right? It's one of the biggest in the world. I was just impressed, and now connecting it back, right? Like, I grew up with my dad in the tire business, so we would always go to Vegas for the SEMA show, the SEMA, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd never understood, or I just took it for what it was, right? And now that I think back, it's kind of those shows. It's pretty much showing the people that are invested in that industry what's out there. So it's pretty much them showing you, like, yeah, keep investing in this industry. Look, we're growing too, kind of thing. Like, let's keep the movement going. Let's
keep growing.
Keep growing. So in a way, because that's how society works, right? Like, that's why the people that live in the mountains with the big house, the reason they have that is because they matter a lot to the community, and the community invests in them so that they have the best possible financial life. That way they could continue to do what they do and give back the community the way they do, bro. Like, so when you think about it, that's what money is. Like, more people are bought into what you're doing. They agree with your mission, and that's why you start doing better, and that's why it's so important to give, like we were talking about right now. You know.
Damn, that's crazy. So, going back to you go to these shows. You went to Chicago. You went to the show. And you're like, was it a mindset thing? Do you think that your mind was this much versus where it's at today? Was it a fear? Was it like I can't do this, or like before, and then now you're like I want to go manufacture? I'm coming.
No, like the vision's always been there. Like I've always talked about being nationwide, and even like, well, when I went to Japan, I was like, oh, shit, like they're 10 years ahead of us, you know. So, anyways, I always wanted to take it. I never wanted to put a limit to what it was. Like I'm still on a quest to find out what it is that I have. I still haven't put like, oh, this is what it is. Like I could give you an idea of what it is right now that we do, but I never want to put a ceiling to it, you know, because
limitation.
It could be whatever, and that's what I like about it. That it's just like, all right, at whatever point, if this is no longer one of my problems or whatever, like, hey, I'm fine with that, right? Just how, like, I told my girl, like, the party life, I did it to the max, and I, like, whatever I did, you know, I'm content with, you know? Like, but that's why I don't crave it. That's why I don't look back to it. Like, I'm like, I know I did it to the highest I could, whatever that means to me, but, like, I'm content with that. And the more you're content with what you're doing, like, that's the only way you get to, like, leave stuff behind, because all that shit weighs you down, man.
So for the people that are watching this, the viewers, and this is why, like, for me, it's, and we talked about this, giving, coming from a successful business owner like yourself, somebody that's growing, somebody that wants to be nationwide, goes to Japan. I'm pretty sure you want to go worldwide one day. Like, manufacturer, jumping into this big game, you live that life. And you said something right now that kind of stuck, is like, you're content with yourself. The minute that you become happy with yourself and understanding that, you're able to move on to the next part of the life. Can anyone just stop that and go on to the next chapter of their life?
Nah, bro. I mean, well, it happened to me when I did the buyout, right? Or when I got bought out first. When I was talking to my dad, I was like, there's no way I could be an employee again. Mm-hmm. Knowing what I know, like knowing how it works, knowing how it works, there's no way, right? Like I
did it once.
And so then I proved it, right? Like I already had all the investors in line and created the business plan and was going to open something, even though people were telling me, let's open another meal prep. I was like, nah, like I'm not going to go something against that I created, right? So but yeah, I mean, once you're in a game, once you, like, life is a game and it's filled with multiple games, and once you're in a game like this one, which is in the business world, mm-hmm. which is your ass is on the line, you could never, adventure is what we all seek, and you're not gonna get that anywhere else, you know, that type of adventure.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I guess it's kind of like if you're out in the wilderness. How was there adventure back in the day when they didn't have commodities? But now we live where it's simplified, but we could still make an adventure of it.
And everything's commodities.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, but it's still rough out there. When you have a business, you still get the punches. So that means, like, despite of all the commodities, we could still, you know, find adventure.
Seeking adventure, bro. I love that. Seeking adventure. So now jumping into, so you go to the show, you see this machine, you know you want to go manufacture. So now, as people are still trying to open up stores, still trying to, like, oh, I want to go do the store, you're here like, oh, cool. I'm going to, like, you're breaking these barriers.
Yeah.
You just remodeled your kitchen.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, by the way, because I remember when you were first opening, I went to go walk that store with you, and you're like, bro, look, this is what I'm going to do this year. You had to fucking take down the windows to fucking get the
Yeah,
machine
cut
in.
the
I saw that.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, an objection came in front of you. What did you do?
Bro, no, you gotta find ways. You gotta find ways, man. But nah, like, and that's why, like, on the way over here, I was like, man, I was excited because you're one of those that knows me from a while
Bro,
back.
wild.
When, especially when you were in your phase, like, I was in my phase too. And, but I remember one time, I was excited to show you like that there was like 12K in the account, right? And I was like, okay, well then at the time it took 12K to run this company, right? Like that was like the cushion. And last time I was like, man, now if I go under 100K, I'm in the red. I'm like, and that's the type of fucking company I fucking built where like if 100K that means red, I'm like, god damn. Like, so we're definitely going somewhere with it, right? Yeah, so I'm like, nah, like we're good, you know, we're good still. So,
but notice that self-reflection, Alex. Like, notice that, like, I remember that moment.
yeah.
It was years ago. 12K. Look, we're fucking.
Yeah, your
doing
bar,
it.
bro. Because I was so excited for you. And like,
Bro, yes. But see, this is what I tell people. It's just like the bottom feeders. They compete.
At the top, we all connect,
bro. Collaboration is a new currency, and that's what people are missing.
Look at McDonald's and Coke.
Bro, 1,000%. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is they come in, they want to take. I want to be like that. I want to come after that, especially with social media. We live in a time where social media is so fucked.
Yeah.
It's so bad because it greets that instant gratification. Instant gratification does not bring happiness, which leads me to my next thing. We talked about perspective.
Yeah.
We talked about
one of my favorite words, bro.
Perspective. I'm having a bad day. I got to throw away meals or I get to feed families.
Yeah.
What does perspective mean to you, bro?
Everything. I tell my girl, I'm like, I don't care what the business gives me, but I hope till it's alive or till it exists, I hope it keeps giving me new perspectives. Because I'm chasing perspectives. I want to know what that feels like. You know, if back in the day I wanted to know what it felt like to buy around the shots, okay, well then you elevate it. You're like, okay, I already felt that. I don't want to feel like it's fine for what it is, but then you're like, well, now I want to feel what it is to commit to someone, you know, like, and me myself make the same commitment. So I'm like, and then when I like, but it wasn't something that I like was chasing and like, no, it just came to me and I was like, well, no, let me see. Like, if I'm committed to my business, why can't I be committed to someone too? You know, and both that I love. So, and then you start, you know, looking back a little bit more and realizing that it's all about connecting dots backwards, not forwards. Like you just start capitalizing on things that should be capitalized on. You know, your strengths, your gifts. Like, well, why am I over here fighting a battle that I shouldn't even be fighting? You know, and then you just get more centered into what it is you want to do, but then you also start getting different perspectives, and that's what I live for, just perspectives, bro. Like, and I think if people were to chase that more instead of whatever it is they're chasing, like I think it would give them more depth to how they live their life. You know,
that was fire. That's fire because that's the truth. Think about when you're telling yourself, I'm committed to a business. Why can't I be committed to my girl?
Or to anything.
Or why can't I be committed to golf?
Yeah.
Why can't I be committed to myself? What if I start taking this in all aspects of my life and I become committed? How much happier are you, bro, with commitment?
I think the road to happiness is taking on responsibility.
Wow.
The more responsibility you take, the happier you'll be. Trust me. I've seen it and I see it with people that are close to me.
Bro, you see
all they
right
could do is talk. All they do is talk. I'm like, do something with your fucking life. Like, if that's all you could do is talk about other people, like, all right, well, cool game you're playing.
How far away do you want to get away from those people?
Oh, bro. bro, I don't want them around me. It's just bad energy.
Let's talk about that energy. When somebody's talking bad, how fast, like, how do you identify bad energy, first of all? And then what is your next move as an entrepreneur? Whether it's an employee, whether it's somebody trying to give you business advice.
I just know when to let people in.
Ooh.
You know? And that just comes, it comes from energy, because, I mean, that's what I believe in, energy. And that's where culture also comes from, when you could feel the energy of everybody, like, giving the same energy, the positive energy towards what it is you're doing. And that's why culture is such a strong thing in the work environment, you know? And those are things you start learning over time. Like, it's easy to tell somebody, like, when a customer comes into the store, you're going to smile and you're going to say, it's easy to say that. But try training that and try doing that with 24 employees, like, or whatever it is. Like, but you got to find ways to get people to buy in. Whether it is that they're buying in because they're college students and it's like, okay, like, I'm kind of making a difference. Or if the ones that are all the way bought in, like, okay, like, I see the growth opportunities and all that stuff. Like, I believe in this, man. So there's different buy-ins, but, like, the more people you get bought in, like, the better culture you're going to create and the better energy you're going to create. And then people are going to want to invest in it, you know, whether it is with time or with money or with collabs or whatever it is, right? Like your world and my world are completely different, but somehow we always find ways to connect, whether it be like a quick car or whatever. But because we understand what it is to talk with somebody with low perspectives, and we know what it is to talk with somebody that has the same perspectives. And then I like to talk to people that, like, I'm like, they probably have perspectives that I can't even think about right now.
1,000%, bro. So talking about buying in, when you're creating, like, let's talk to business owners. Creating company culture, you see business owners fail because of their culture.
Yeah.
How important is culture when building a business?
It's because it starts with them, and
It starts with yourself.
It starts with the owner. I mean, if you're gonna be the leader, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna copy the leader, right? Or they're at least gonna try to imitate it. So if you're just kicking back, if you're those type that is all just for the gram or whatever it is, like, well, I mean, that's only surfacey. Like, where's your foundation at? You know, like, that's one thing from the start, we didn't have a good foundation, and it's only been 4 years of creating a good foundation, you know, because you could have it could all look pretty, right? Like, glitter makes anything pretty, shine. But you know what's going to happen when, you know, it tilts over? You don't even know how to start again. You don't, like, even with yourself, like, how are you going to deal with yourself when you hit rock bottom like that? Like, that's why, like, now winters are my worst. And I'm having a decent time despite of it being slow like always, you know? But the thing is, I want to solve that, you know, and that's what this machine might give me. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm out to solve something that's incriminating my own business, but I think I could turn that negative into a positive.
No, you know you could
Exactly.
turn that negative into a positive. It's just figuring out the fucking solution.
Yeah, no, once I get in the airports, it's game over. But, you know, that's what I'm shooting for. But before I get there, I'm going to build up a good report, you know, evidence, you know, you're an airport. This is just a small place, and look what they're doing. You know, why wouldn't you let me in?
He said the airport. You could catch Phit Phuel in all the airports around the country.
And I want to be able to go to any airport and see a machine of mine, bro. So
let's grow. So going back to, I missed it. What did you say? You were talking about, the foundation, 4 years. Let's go back to 9.5 years ago, 10 years. Like, share with a business owner how that foundation has constantly been changing and pivoting to what works and what doesn't work. And for somebody that has something that's not working, what should they do? Like, how can they pivot? Would you recommend pivot right away into building that culture? I know you said 4 years you've been working on this, but now that you've identified that and you're pivoting, earlier you told me how engaged everybody is.
Yeah.
because there's fucking culture now.
Yeah.
How am like you built that though? It didn't happen overnight.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it just comes with what we're talking about, like connecting, right? Like, if you don't know how to connect things, like as a leader, I mean, you got to make things work, right? Like with the resources you have, with the hand that was dealt with you, like whatever, like you gotta. It's just as it's dangerous to take on more. Let's say, like I can't grow faster than what I want to, because that's self-incriminating myself. Because once you start doing that, like if you're not ready for that growth and you take it on, like that's what happened to us when we went into bankruptcy or whatever, right? Like we took on more than what we should have at the time, and that's also a bad thing. So how you take steps is like they're all when I talk about having a day, everything's there, right? We see what we want to see. And when it's a big investment or when it's a big decision, if that step is close enough where you know you can step forward, you take it. But if it's far, you don't force it. Like you can't force it. So understanding patience and understanding when to take the steps, that's important. And all you could do, like I said, is just stay prepared. Like preparation is key.
How do you know when to take the next step?
I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of preparation, right? Like it's not the first time I hear about the thing that I'm about to do or whatever. So it's a lot of, I guess you would say, like I'm studying, right? Mm-hmm. In my own way. That way, whenever that arrives, whether it be like, oh, like you got to do this now or what, I don't know. When I'm put in a situation, like I just kind of go with my gut, and I'm like, all right, like that's the step.
Your gut.
Yeah.
Your gut. The gut feels right.
Yeah, it's the three things, it's your mind, your heart, and your gut. Like first you got to think about it, and then you got to feel it. But even if after you feel it, you're still iffy, you got to go with your gut. But if there's a lot of problems you could just solve up here, most of them, and then some of them take the heart. And if it still gets past the heart, that means it's a decision that's gonna take a bunch of time in your life, right? Moving forward. And so then you go with your gut, and pretty much what you're asking your gut is like, are you ready to put all this work in, because this is about to do that for you, right? And you're like, I'm ready,
And I think that comes with a lot of confidence. Think about how much your confidence is built. So when you open up your first store in the gym, you're like, holy shit, this works. You gain more confidence. But this came over time to go purchase a six-figure machine, one machine that someone will tell you, mijo, are you sure you're ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Is it going to be a good decision? How much money is it going to make you? But your confidence level is you are confident in your product. You are confident in yourself. You are confident in your team. You already thought about it.
Yeah.
You got the heart. Now your gut feels so good. You go out there, you buy this six-figure machine. You're ready to play ball. You're ready for the next level.
But bro, that's also, I guess that's the benefit of perspective. Because yesterday I was telling them the same fear I had buying this machine is the same fear I had when I first bought my first little fridge that was $300. The same fucking fear, like same amount too, despite of the huge gap in how much it costs. I'm like, and the biggest memory I have starting off was, I remember sitting in the car outside of Rocco Fitness in the Northeast for 20 minutes trying to tell myself, just go in there already, leave the flyers. But I was so scared to do that because I don't do that, I'm not a talker. I'm just good at working stuff like systems and connecting. I'm not good at all that, but I've had to do it And up to this point, I've done enough. But it's just like, well, now the team is changing. So it's like, nah, well, you have that gift. You could do it better than me. Like, I've done enough to bring it up to this. And so now I get to focus more on that instead of like everybody having to do a little bit of everything. The more you could like concentrate people doing their own thing, like the more you're going to get out of that, because now you start creating departments and then they start having people under them, and, you know, there's room for opportunity for everybody. And like you said, like you need people, not more money, you know?
Need more people.
Yeah.
It's not a money problem. It's a people problem.
Yeah.
It's not a money problem. It's a people problem.
There you go.
And think about what you just said, though. That same fear from $300 to a six-figure machine
Yeah.
is the same fear. It's just different
all about
level. It's all perspective.
So you could minimize something like that to be like, it's the same as a little fridge.
And now that you went through this, obviously through this journey, this has probably happened a lot of times. But how much easier now is it going to be for you to identify, oh, this is that same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the same feeling.
Bro. But that's why, like, and that's what you gain also, you know, like that's what you gain along the way, that things start making sense. Like, and then you start noticing how everything is the same. Like, that's why they say history repeats itself, and it's just everything's the same. It just looks different. You know, it's all the same thing. And that's why it's just like, just do the right thing, whatever it is you're doing, and finish it. You know, if you started, finish it.
Continue to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think that's like one
simple,
of the biggest
man.
things a lot of people lack is they want to do it for the money. They want to do it for all the wrong purposes, not realizing if they just do it from the heart and they do it with good intentions, that's what's going to change their life forever.
Yeah.
Doing it from the heart.
Yeah, man. And there's no better feeling when you do feel stuff like that, you know? And like last night was one of those, and I'm good, man. I'm good.
Let's talk about last night. Bro, 8 years ago, your second year. That was back then, bro. Think about that.
Yeah.
Just won the company party, from partying to drinking, throwing it at a bar, to last night.
No alcohol.
No alcohol. That's another thing, bro. You've been sober
For a year and a half almost.
a year and a half.
Yep.
A year and a half. How has your life changed from being sober?
Bro, I wasn't realize how much energy I was wasting, you know, on something so shallow. I don't know, something so empty, something that would leave me there, you know. So it's just realizing how much time I wasted, and realizing, okay, I'm glad I stopped at a good enough time where I still could get to where I want to get, right? Like, I just got to continuously work. So, I mean, I'm glad I got out of that, you know. So it's just, man, there's nothing greater than to just get home exhausted, but like exhausted in the best way, right? Like,
So you wake up again
to
and you
still
do it
feel
again
like
with no
there's
headache.
work to do. There's work to do, you know, like, and that's why I don't believe in boredom. I'm like, I just don't understand it, but yeah,
I'm bored.
yeah, it's like, what the I don't know, but
No,
I
but
get
you
it.
do know, though. That's
I get it. I understand.
And I think a lot of people fail to realize this because they don't teach this in our schools. They don't teach this in our education. They don't teach. This is how America runs. This is how they want you to think. Being bored is okay. Go watch sports. Nothing against sports, but go watch sports. Go get entertained. Go party.
Yeah.
You should work towards Friday and Saturday, because when those days come, you should go be drinking. Think about all the days, because you and I used to party a lot together. Think about that energy. But look at the commitment, going back to commitment that we're doing now, that you've been on this journey of a year and a half, no drinking. Bro, not many people can say that.
Yeah.
And look at the accomplishment that you have done. And I don't know if you ever do this, but self-reflect.
Bro, and that's what I've been able to do, like, especially being married now. And like I was telling you last time that we talked on the phone, I was like, ever since I committed, like I've been able to breathe more, you know, in that aspect. So like now I don't have to constantly be worrying about that, like having an empty spot, like having an empty spot in me, like in my heart or whatever you want to call it. So like now that I have that, it's like, okay, like I don't know, I kind of just reflect a lot now, and so that's why I'm being more open, and I guess more, I don't know, I have to be, you know, the level of competition that we're about to embark is just a different approach that you have to start off with, I guess, than how we did at the beginning. You know, you have to be educated when you're over here at the top or at this new stage, like, and so I'm ready for that, and a lot of the guys and girls within the team feel like they are as well, and I think yesterday, like, they all felt that, and to be able to hear me say something about each one, like, I think it really meant a lot, because I don't usually say much, but I did tell them, I was like, you know, like, I don't say much, but when I do say stuff, like, I mean it, you know, and so like, so yeah, I mean, I hope they did take something from it, and I know I did, so.
Let's grow.
Yeah.
So one last thing is, what would you have to say to anybody in the entrepreneurial space, like the ones that want to start a business, the ones that want to start investing in themselves, the ones that want to do something great? Because what you're doing is something great. Someone that wakes up one day and says, I want to do something great. Through your experience, what can you share some of your wisdom on that?
I think like there's two different ways, right? Or two different types of people. So if you're like me, that isn't out there, right? Or that's not their natural state, where you're an introvert, right? I think what I've seen, at least, is that those type of people, like myself, take their biggest problem and try to solve it. Now, people that are charismatic and good at that, and that are extroverts, I think you should just capitalize on your strength, you know, being out there, you know. And so just think of your biggest problem in your life and try to solve it for yourself, and along the way just make something of it. Create a movement behind it. And usually, you know, that comes with the financial follow, but just I guess that's just what I've noticed or have seen, you know. Usually if you're introvert, you do this, and extrovert, they kind of focus on what they're actually good at, like out there, right? So, I mean, I would just say that, like, just try and solve a problem at the end of the day.
Try and solve
and it's usually going to be yours, like
your own problem.
Yeah, because why are you going to be interested in something when you have no interest in solving more than that, you know? Like, so just get into something that you feel like you could do it for forever, right? So, yeah.
I appreciate you for coming on
thanks
today,
for having
bro. I mean, you and I could talk about this for days, all day, every day. And the craziest thing is, like, you and I don't talk every day. We don't talk every weekend. We might not even talk all month.
Yeah.
We'll go long periods of times without talking, but every time we talk to each other, it's a new level that we're at, that we're facing. Same thing.
Yeah.
More money, but same concept.
Yeah.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
And as long as you continue to do stuff with the heart, you're going to continue to do great things, bro. I'm excited for what the future of Phit Phuel, future with a PH. Future with a PH.
Fierro también.
Fierro, I saw that. Fierro with the PH. All your apps with the PH.
Please.
Setting trends, setting a movement around here.
You got to put emphasis on the start of a word.
Forever. Forever Phit Phuel.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. Click the little bell to get notified every time we post. Mr. Alex, I appreciate you for coming in again.
Thanks for having me.
And look forward to this journey and look forward to another interview in the future.
There you go.
To talk about this manufacturer business
Whenever.
how it's going and where you're taking it.
Whenever, bro. Let's do it.
Let's grow, baby.
Grow.